So we start off with me finally finding another boss, the Brooding Malik, after I was searching for maybe like 20-30 minutes of anything new I could find, maybe a new skill, maybe even a nail power. But I finally find something. I think this is one of the early mode game bosses that I just so happened to not find starting out. But this, you can see, this is my first time fighting him. Yeah, I'm getting dominated right now. You know, I'm not used to the whole splash sort of thing with this game quite yet. I'm more inclined to the actual linear attacks. His little swipe attack, is a little hard to tell. I mean, it is my first time fighting him. You see, I'm bumping into him, trying to avoid stuff. You know, it's a little bit difficult for me with all the projectiles on the screen. But you know, we teeing up. You know, he's spraying, I'm getting used to the whole jumping. He shoots like 4 or 5 of those little orange blobs out, then he'll jump at you. You see right here, even after all my great efforts, they were not enough. And look where I spawn. Yep, I spawned all the way in Crystal Mine. You didn't see the previous video. You know, I finally had found a new skill that lets you launch all the way. Like, basically, it lets you fly. So we go down, you know, I'm making my way to the boss again. You know, I'm reminiscing, you know, I'm like, man, you know, it's been a little while since I've actually came back in this area. You know, the first time I was fighting one of those big dudes with the maces, and that you know, that was a scary experience. That was a scary experience. I was like, whoa, you know, like, you know, it was real cool, you know, finally something that's just not one of them little easy enemies. So, which is cool and all, but you can't be slick with me. So now we finally make it back. I get my ghost, get my money back. You know, you see your boy getting a little rich up here, and I see this ugly thing just sitting in the back. And I see the second fight, we actually tee up. You know, we still getting hit by the same stuff, but you know, I'm being a little bit more careful, being more efficient with the swipes. We jumping, we counting. That little hook jab he does is a little hard to telegraph. I'm not gonna lie, you know, it's a little difficult, and I keep forgetting that. When he does that blob splurge attack, that all I gotta do is just jump over him. You see, I'm trying to hide that little crevice of the gate, but that did not work out. And then that right there, that jump, that I was like, this is ridiculous. He jumped all the way. He did a whole LeBron dunk, dropped straight nuts on my head. So we jump over him this time, and we kill him. See, it wasn't that bad, but that's just because I have my nail upgraded, I think 2 times. Yep. So now we get this piece, which I assume, you know, this is a very entry-level piece that I just never got. And we make our way out of there. You know, I break this piece off, and we straight moving. So I check the map, because I'm a little lost when it comes to that jellyfish area. That's the only area I just cannot seem to get past. They have this black barrier I keep bumping into, and I want to know how to get past it, but I really just don't. You know, I don't want to look up any guys. You know, I don't want anything spoiled for me, but I just need like a step in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like a tip in the right direction, and I'll figure it out. Because right now, when I try to get to that map, it's like I can't. I know I hear the you know, he be going hard with them notes. I hear him. You know, I'm trying to get past. I feel like I've done everything in my power to actually get past that area, but that's just me. But now, aside from that, we're making our way back to Green Path, because since I unlocked this new ability, I actually haven't used it here. You know, I see some areas where this could potentially be useful, like those 2 areas that I haven't fully explored at the bottom. So we're going there. But I gotta say, this game, it's very fun. You know, it's very explorative, especially fighting these night dudes. They give a lot of money, and my first time finding these dudes was a little scared. You know, I was surprised. They're pretty strong, and they have that shield, and they have the range, you know, some of the range on these enemies I'm not really keen to. Like for example, in the crystal mine, the miners that the pickaxes, they had some mad range, and I just sometimes I'd be like, how did I get hit by that? Because they don't throw it, they just, I feel like I'm out of their range, but I'm still getting hit, and when I swing, I don't know what I'm getting hit by. And that's pretty much it, you know. Like this game, I've really been enjoying it. The explorative factor, you know, it's been a long time since I've actually had a game where you explore and you find secrets. You know, the last game I played that was anywhere like this sort of genre was Elden Ring. So yeah, we make our way through there. You know, I'm expecting that one night to be right at that house, so I stop flying and just dash over there because I don't want to hit him and be dropped down to 2 hearts. But it's come to find out he's not over here, so I check inside of here because I am positive that there was somebody in this house, but I just can't remember because it's been a while and me being in this area. So I fly over, come to realize there is nothing over here besides just a wall and these little flying mosquito bugs or whatever they are. So I fly back thinking, all right, I'm gonna just go to another area, that spiky thorn area. That's where we're headed next. That thorn area is where we're headed next. So I make my way down there. You know, I fall down, bump into that little nasty enemy, a funky enemy, and I check the map again just to see how close I am. And now we just making our way down there. You know, nothing too special, you know, it's just a matter of just getting down there. I forget too how many traps they got up in Green Path. They got too many, or not, I wouldn't say too many, so many of these little traps that you just not expecting. So finally we make it to here, and I hit this big fat bug with armor on. I'm like, all right, I'll kill you just to get some of the shell stuff back. My shell armor. Fly across. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be easy for you, but it's just more parkour. I'm checking out the flight path for this thing. We fly, make it. Then I get hit by that. I'm like, all right, surely I wouldn't have to restart it. And of course I do. So in Hollow Knight fashion, you know, I gotta now lock in, make sure I time my jumps, make sure I don't hit the top. Boom, we make it to the second one. And we, you know, we moving slow and steady in this. So when they go up, boom, I jump off that platform, make it. Now I see what I gotta do here. You know, I'm scanning the area. I see what I gotta do. We gotta just keep on walking and dash. I failed it the first time, but this time right here, I heal, and I think we make it. Yep, boom. That's what I'm talking about right there. So now I'm seeing these 3. Now I expected to have like some little trap like that, so I stopped pretty close to getting hit too. So now I'm like, all right, now we skipping across these platforms. I messed up a few times. That right there was embarrassing. And so we finally made it past that part. Now we're on the second part. So I couldn't talk, I had to lock in right there, even though I kept getting hit. Like, man, that part it's not hard, but I just kept getting hit at that part, and I don't know why. Alright, so we found me, and these eggs too. I found this rancid egg, and I think this is my 3rd one I found, and I don't have no clue what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I gotta combine it with some. I don't really know. I don't think it's gonna have any use. But now I see what I gotta do here. I gotta dash through, and they got a little house I see. So I'm like, okay, I'm finally finna find or have a new vendor, and I'll be happy with it. So I sat there and just kind of happy that I finally got past that part. So I walk in. So I thought he was a boss at first, but I seen Peyton, and then I hit him with my dream nail. And I'm trying to just see if they got any sort of cool dialogue to go with along with it, and there is. So he's a painter, you know. He used to have his old nail. He switched. What was it? I think he just switched to be passive and just paint. That's all like what he wanted to do, and that's what he's telling me right here. So we go through the dialogue. Maybe I just gotta get used to it, but I wasn't sure if I really liked it a lot. But man, I was happy that I finally got a new move. So you see me testing out all right here. Going on, you know, anything else going on for me? Any secrets? And I was like, maybe I can use the Great Slash on these thorns, but nope. So now we dipping out. And of course, those petty traps that I was telling y'all about last video, man. Smart traps though, smart. Boom. So finally, after like 20, maybe like 30 minutes of exploring some more, I went back to this cave that I just never had the map in. So I started to abide by that formula that I was telling y'all about, where I would stay in the area until I found the map. See, I'm a little lost, you know. I've already been in this area, jumped down through the chest, but I remember before when I was down here, I didn't have the ability to wall jump. So now I'm excited. I'm like, oh, finally I found something new, maybe a new boss. So I start to heal, as you guys can see. I don't want to take any chances. Start to heal, especially with the rock spikes falling down too. So I'm not taking any chances. I'm being very cautious, you know. I'm swinging, dashing, just kind of taking my time. I'm hearing noises. And I see one of these little worms, and I'm prepared this time, because last time I opened one of them up, it turned into some corrupted little version of the mob. I don't even know what it was, but I mess up here and end up having to go circle back around, which, you know, it didn't take me too long, but I was a little disappointed that I actually fell for that. Should have known. So now I make sure to actually jump over that little area. We go, and man, am I happy to have finally found a new area. And if you guys want to see this new area in the next gameplay and see what I found and explored, hit the like button. With that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.